Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining. So we are in this fifth episode of our Archicad Now webinar series. So the topic is accelerating IDD adoption. So in this webinar series, we have been seeing the IDD workflows for design and construction and the fabrication stages in the past 4 sessions. And on this fifth session, the last session, we are going to see the workflows for asset management and then the use cases for IDD. So if you guys have not seen the last 4 episodes, so you can scan the QR code here and then watch the recording of the episodes from our YouTube channel. I shall stay here for a few more seconds. All right, so without any further ado, let's go into the use cases. So today we are going to see 4 use cases related to the asset management stage. We are going to see digital handover and then see how to perform scan to BIM, and also we are going to see smart operations and maintenance together with the real-time monitoring of asset performance. Okay, so the first use case of the digital handover. So as per this use case, in the conventional workflow, people have been creating the documents, plans, the certificates, the drawings, everything, and then it has been passed manually across, which is not integrated. So the informations are in bits and pieces. You have to refer to all this information to get to a conclusion, so it causes confusion at the end. So in order to avoid that, we can have a consolidated package, which can be a cloud-based package, which contains all the necessary information that is required for the facilities and operation, either by the facility manager or by the owner or by the developer. So we can have this consolidated package in the cloud-based system, and then it can be shared across multiple stakeholders who will use this information in the downstream processes and workflows. So this as per this digital handover workflow, it need not be just one deliverable, but one such deliverable could be the BIMx model. So as we can see here in this conventional workflow, from Archicad model, which is, if it is hosted on BIM cloud, you can just publish the model in any file formats, like the formats that you can print and send across to others. But if you publish it as BIMx file format, especially when it is on the cloud, right? So you can load this model from the BIMx model transfer site, and then we can send across messages to the project stakeholders who are joining the project. So this way we have a live model or the live document of this BIMx file, which is available throughout the facility management stage after you have the as-built model created inside Archicad. So as per this workflow, this workflow can be implemented in the construction stage, and it can be done in the facility management stage as well. So this implementation was done by Landerlock Architects and Venturer Timberwork in one of their construction projects, where they created the BIMx model, and then they printed the QR codes of each of the equipments and then pasted it on the equipments. So this printing of Python QR code is done by Python from Archicad. So you can simply generate the QR codes by few clicks. So when you scan the QR code, it will open the BIMx model, and then it will highlight the particular element. So exactly the same thing can be done in facility management stage. So you can print the QR codes for all your equipments that you want to perform maintenance or whatever, and then you can paste it on those. And when you want to scan it, or when you scan it, it will open the BIMx model and it will zoom into that particular element and it will highlight the element for you, so that you will be able to check the 3D data or even the metadata that is attached to that particular element. And if you have the facility management system integrated with BIMx, which we are going to see later, you can access that information as well, the facility management system information inside the BIMx, by scanning the QR code like this. Okay, so here is the workflow. So as you can see, you can just publish the model from Archicad to BIMx, and then you have a QR code that we have the QR code generated from Archicad using the Python script. And then this Python script is actually very simple. So let me just show you a snippet. So you can see with just few lines of code, you'll be able to create the QR code from the element. So in this example, I'm just creating for all the walls inside the model, but you can create for all the selected elements or even for everything that you have inside the model. And then this QR code can be pasted which can be scanned, and then you can access the element from the BIMx. All right, so as per this workflow, it is easy to manage, there's no loss of data, and it enables the downstream operations and maintenance stage in a digital way. So whatever that you have during the digital handover, we can make use of it in the following stages and then make the process completely digitalized. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic, which is scan to BIM. So as per this workflow, we can use the 3D LiDAR scanners, and then we will be able to get the point cloud information, which sometimes needs some post processing. And then once after you post process that, you can just simply import that information inside Archicad, and then you can use that as a reference to create your model, to perform some design analysis or visualization as well. So this workflow can be applied to cases where you don't have the BIM model for the buildings or even the drawings for the buildings that you have constructed, but you wanted to create a BIM model. You can use this workflow. Or even when you want to compare the as-built model with the real construction, so you can just do a scanning. It can be either using handheld scanners or even using drones. So once you scan that, you can import the point cloud data in XYZ file format inside Archicad, using which you can compare it with the as-built model. So in both the cases, it is quite helpful, this workflow. So you can use any LiDAR scanners. So it can be ranging from your mobile phone LiDAR scanner. So all the iPad or the iPhone Pro models have this LiDAR scanner from iPhone 12. So if you have, you will be able to install the necessary app from the App Store, and then you can just do a scan from which you can export the XYZ point cloud data, and then it can be imported in Archicad. So, or you can also use the Arduino based LiDAR scanners, which you can do it yourself. And then, or if you want to go for much more accurate information, you can go for professional high-end LiDAR scanners, which will be a bit more costlier, but it will give you an accurate result. So you can use any of this, and then you can export it, the point cloud data, and then you can import it inside Archicad. So for this experiment, we were using this 3D scanner app from our app store. You can scan the QR code to access this app, if in case you have iPhone Pro versions of 13, 12 or 14. Okay, so once after you get the XYZ file format, which is the point cloud, you can go inside Archicad and go to File, Interoperability, and then you have this Import Point Cloud option, which is actually a plugin. So when you import that, you will have to do some post processing here, and once you do that, the point clouds will become a library object or the LCF file, and then it gets loaded into the project, and then you can just place it inside the model. So this way you are able to bring the model inside by scanning. And if in case you want to create the model out of this, right, so each point in this point cloud is snappable inside Archicad. So you will be able to create the Archicad model based on this as a reference, and then you have the as-built model or even the BIM model that has not been created in the process of construction for the projects that you are currently working on. Then you can use this method to create the model. So this is how it looks inside Archicad after you import the point cloud data. Okay, so as per this conventional workflow, you have to do a manual measurement if in case you want to create a BIM model of a facility or a building which is not having any BIM information. So this is very cumbersome and it is prone to error as well. But as per this workflow, it is very efficient, and it is also less prone to errors, which improves the accuracy of the model data that you can prepare. And then it enables the digital operation and maintenance of the downstream stages, which I told earlier as well. So when you have the BIM model at the facility management stage, it will let you to digitalize all the downstream operations and maintenance as well. Okay, so the next is BIMx for facility management. Before I move on to the next topic, which is the digital operations and maintenance, let me show some of the features that we have inside BIMx, which lets you to integrate with the other facility management systems. So we have been showing BIMx in this webinar series quite extensively. So it was also shown during our previous user day events. So this particular workflow, which lets the BIMx control your smart home devices. So it was presented by Chidam in one of our user days. So if you want to see it, you can scan the QR code shown on this screen. Let me just fast forward the video a bit and then show you what it is here in this. So you can see here, this is actually just a proof of concept. So inside the BIMx model, on the left side, Chidam is navigating inside, and then you can select the light, and then you have the option to turn on and turn off the lights. So as per the system that he created, he has a login there. So for security reasons, so once we log in, we have the options to turn on and turn off the light. So when that is turned on and turned off, you can see here the light is glowing. So similarly, this is just a proof of concept, but it can be done in a real life project as well. So you can turn on your air cons, you can get access to your security systems, lights, you can control your blinds. Everything can be controlled from the BIMx as long as it has the system to integrate it with BIMx. So if it has a web-based system or a web-based solution, it can be very easily integrated with BIMx itself. Okay, so here Chidam is showing all the items required and then how it need to be set up in terms of the circuit connection and everything. So he uses the Arduino code and then he sets up the system in place. And then if you want to know how this system has been set up and how it works, just scan the QR code. It has been shown extensively on this particular user day event, and then it is available on our YouTube channel for you to watch. Okay, so yeah, let me just go on to the next example, which is the hot desking example. Again, this was shown in our previous user day event as well. So you can scan the QR code that is shown here. And then as per the system, what we do is we have the seats inside the BIM model or the BIMx model. You can select the seats and then you can do a reservation. So once you reserve it, it will go inside the Google Sheets directly, and then it updates the Google Sheets. And from there, this Google Sheet information is updated back inside the Archicad model through a Rhino Grasshopper script. And then you can see inside the Archicad model, the seats are showing in color coded, like green are the free ones and the red ones are reserved. So the same can be seen inside the BIMx model as well. So the results are color coded. So if you check the reservation for a particular time, if the seat has been already reserved, it will show you it show in red in color. If not, it will show in cyan color inside BIMx, so that you know whether you are allowed to do the reservation or not. Okay, so this was also shown in the previous webinar, like the setup of it and how it was done, but let's just see that in action in this video. So you can see on the left side a BIMx screen. So inside here, the user is checking for hot desking availability, and then it opens a web page from where the checking is done, the checking for the seats, whether it is available on the particular time slot. So you can see right now all the seats are available. Okay, so if the user wants to select one of the seats, just select it and then click reserve seat from the pop-up menu. And then again, you need to log in for security reasons. So once you log in, you will be able to reserve the seat. So when you click reserve seat, it shows seat is reserved, and you can also see it inside the Google Sheets here that the seat is occupied and it is red in color, and immediately the Python, the Grasshopper script is updating the Archicad model as well, and then it is updated here inside Archicad. Okay, so just to understand how this system is set up, scan the QR code and you'll be able to watch how it has been set up and how you can implement it. Okay, so the next workflow is digital operations and maintenance. So as per this workflow, it enables the facility manager to easily access all the building information in a centralized platform and then perform the operation through that platform. And that platform should be able to enable the facility managers to perform work order management, maintenance management, manage the supplier data and then the contracts data, and it should also let the facility managers do asset inventory management and facility service planning and everything. So we have this 𝗕𝗏𝗀 solution, which is also an 𝗪𝗔𝗀 solution, which can do all this operations and maintenance in a digital way. And the good thing is we are able to get the Archicad model, create a direct connection with the Archicad create a direct connection with 𝗕𝗏𝗀. So as per this connection, we have actually explored this using the Python API, and we also use the C++ add-on. With both, you will be able to export the Archicad model information, basically the details of the project, the zone information, the zones into which the equipments are available, and then the equipments itself, which is called as assets inside the 𝗕𝗏𝗀. So this is can be exported, and then you can push this data inside 𝗕𝗏𝗀 through their REST API. So it can be done both using Python and C++, as I told earlier. So we developed this add-on for this presentation. It is not publicly available, but if in case you are looking for such connection, we can help you for creating one such add-on. Okay, and this 𝗕𝗏𝗀 has two modules. One is for the facility managers, which is called the 𝗕𝗏𝗀 management. So inside here, you can plan all your activities, you can plan all your workflows for your facility management and operations. So all that can be done within this 𝗕𝗏𝗀 management used by the facility managers. And we are also bringing in the BIMx model inside this workflow for bringing the spatial context into this workflow. So everything that we have inside 𝗕𝗏𝗀 management or 2D information or just the metadata. So if in case you want to have a spatial context in 3D environment, we are bringing in this BIMx model into this. That's the only reason we have this BIMx model here. Otherwise, you will still be able to use 𝗕𝗏𝗀 for do the management. So you just get the Archicad model, and then from there you bring in the information inside 𝗕𝗏𝗀, and you can perform the operations from there also. And there is another module which is the 𝗕𝗏𝗀 experience, which is for the occupants. So as an end user, the occupants will be able to do the reservation, or they'll be able to perform, or they'll be able to request for maintenance or request for cleaning, or if they want to access any data, they can access using this 𝗕𝗏𝗀 experience, and it can be accessed from mobile phones, iPads, or they also have an application, so it can be opened in the browser as well. Okay, so this information is back and forth from 𝗕𝗏𝗀 experience to spatial management. So the user data will be updated regularly to the 𝗕𝗏𝗀 management whenever the user does a reservation or a request for maintenance or whatever. And then, as I told earlier, as we have been seeing in the previous workflows as well, so we can create this BIMx extension using which you can control the lights, you can control the equipments, and also you can add the spatial context to this workflow. And then if in case you have a equipment that is inside the 𝗕𝗏𝗀 and you want to check the 3D data of that particular equipment or the metadata of BIM metadata of that equipment, you can just immediately open it in BIMx through the link, and then you can just access those information, which we will be showing shortly. Okay, and if at all it is required to update any information from 𝗕𝗏𝗀 management back inside the Archicad model, you can do that as well. So using this REST API, you can just pull the information from 𝗕𝗏𝗀 and put it inside the Archicad model. So we need to have a mapping of the information. So with that, it will be able to export the model information and then import it inside Archicad. Okay, so let us see this workflow in action. So first, let us go to this project info and then check out the information that you want to export. So you can see here we have the project data, which you can export to 𝗕𝗏𝗀, and there is some mapping done for this project itself. So if in case your project needs some more information to be transferred, we can do that mapping as well. Okay, so now let us go to the floor plan and then select those equipments or the zones that you want to export to 𝗕𝗏𝗀, and then I'm here and selecting those that I don't want. So once you do that, we are going to just select these equipments, and then only these equipments are going to be exported to 𝗕𝗏𝗀. So you can go to options, and you can see here there is an option export to 𝗕𝗏𝗀. So it gives a pop-up when it is successful. So you can see the project is exported to 𝗕𝗏𝗀 successfully. So now I'm opening the iPad, and using the extension, I can open the spacewell management within the iPad BIMx model itself. So you can see this is how it looks, and you can check out the model that we just exported from Archicad. So you can see here, this is the project that we exported, and it has all the model information that we extracted from the Archicad project. Okay, so if in case you want to add images or any document links or anything related to this project, you can do it from here itself. And even if you want to edit any of the information that you exported or add in more information, you can do it from here. So now let us check out the areas, which is called the zones inside Archicad. So here it is called areas, and you can see here, these are the zones that we exported from Archicad. And when you select one of it and go inside, you will be able to see the information that we exported from there. So all the model related information, and those information that are not available, you can manually key in, or you can use IoT sensors to populate them automatically as well using the API. So now let us check out the assets, which is the equipments inside there. So you can see these are the equipments that are available, that is populated from Archicad. And when you select one of it and go inside that, you can see the information of it that is coming from the Archicad model, and those that are empty, you can add it from here itself. So you can see here we have this particular property called Graphisoft URL, which is actually the BIMx link for this particular equipment. When I select it and then open the link, you can see it brings into that particular equipment or particular device inside the BIMx screen. And I can check the 3D data or even the metadata from there. So now let's go back to the spacewell management itself. Let's check out for more information inside the assets. So I'm selecting another device or the furniture here. Okay, so if in case I want to edit any of the information here, so I can edit it from here. You can see I'm changing it, or the category I'm changing it to a furniture. Okay, and also if in case there are any requests for this particular device or an equipment, you can check for the request from here. So if there's any request for maintenance or cleaning or whatever, and also if there's any documents that you want to upload, or even if you want to check out those documents, you can do it. And as I told earlier, if you want to check it inside the BIMx, you can simply select it and then just open the link inside BIMx, which will zoom in to that particular device and then highlight that device for you to check. Okay, so now let us check out the spacewell experience, which is to be used by the end users, which is the occupants. So as per this, you can see a floor plan here. So this floor plan is actually not the floor plan of the BIM model that I have, but I'm just showing here the representation of it. So you can see all these rooms are right now free based on the color that you see there. And if it's case it is reserved, it will be red in color, or if it's unavailable, you will have this color coded options visible for you. And this particular I'm actually accessing it using a web page or using a web device. So it has all these devices controls, monitors that you can check. So it's basically a dashboard of all the information. So if you have set up all this on your facility, you'll be able to check out the information of like building statistics, space monitor, maintenance operations, service requests that you have submitted, interior space usage, how it is being used, and all that comfort monitor, everything can be monitored from here. Okay, so they also have a REST API for this workspace experience, as I said earlier. So with this, you can exchange information back and forth from Archicad as well. So now we are going to see the application for spacewell experience. So this is more intuitive than the web device. So you can see here, I can choose a room, and then I can choose the date that in which I want to reserve that particular room, and then I can set the time slots between which I want to reserve. I can choose the floor, and then the number of attendees, total number of attendees that I would want to join in this room. So all this can be performed with this mobile application as well. And when you do this, it will be updated in the spacewell management database also. Okay, so you can also do the reservation for the workplaces. So you can see here in this workflow, there is one occupancy there. So when I select that, it shows that the occupancy detected less than a minute ago, which means that somebody was there in less than a minute, and it shows the available for next 16 hours. And interestingly, it also shows the information about the temperature, the humidity, and then the particles, ppm data, and all that from that particular room that you have selected. So you'll be able to see all this when you do the reservation. Okay, so you can see here it has the image. So if you have uploaded the image for that particular location, it will show the image as well. So all this is very intuitive inside this, and you can do the reservation, or you can even request for maintenance or request for cleaning, anything from this application itself. Okay, so coming back to the KPI of this workflow, it reduces the time and it improves the productivity and efficiency, and also the accuracy of the operations and maintenance stage. So as per the traditional workflow, people just call for any work that is required, and it is being managed manually, and it is not centralized as I told earlier. So with this workflow, we have the centralized information of data that is coming from the BIM model, and this can be efficiently managed. So if in case you're going for any ANA works after a few years, and if you have the BIM model and you are updating the BIM model there, you can again get that information from Archicad into Spacewell using the Python script, or even using the Archicad add-on that we can develop, so that the information is up to date inside Spacewell. So you need not recreate it manually after you do the ANA works. Okay, so the next workflow is real-time monitoring of asset performance. So as per this workflow, we collect the IoT sensor devices data that we set up inside the building, and based on that data, we are able to do a certain task which is related to the facility management. And those are like predictive maintenance, energy management, space management, and safety management as well. So during COVID, like if you want to do like safe distance management and all that, this system should be allowing you to do that. So again, for this workflow, we are proposing Archicad together with the Spacewell, and Spacewell has quite a range of modules inside there, or the features inside there, using which you can perform this the space monitor, the occupancy, the utilization of the space, and it also has the dashboard for you to view all this information, how the space has been used in the past few months, or based on the time frame that you set there. So all that is available inside the Spacewell, and also on the comfort monitor. So you can monitor the temperature, humidity, which we were seeing earlier on the mobile app, right? So you can view this from the dashboard also. And then the air quality monitor. So all this information that you want to monitor, you have to set the sensors in the required positions, and so that you will receive the information inside Spacewell, so that it can create a report from the dashboard that they have. So this workflow is pretty much the same as the previous one, but just that the data entry is from the sensors here. So this sensor information will be pushed into the Spacewell, which can be generated as a report for you to perform predictive maintenance or energy management, whatever. Okay, so as the KPI is pretty much the same, it reduces the manual entry of data and improves the efficiency, and reduces the time for real-time monitoring. So in the previous workflow, it's all manually monitored at regular time intervals. Now you have the data in real time, so that it lets you to do the decision making based on the data that you have. So it's quite efficient in that sense, and it's very useful for the facility managers. Okay, so with this, we have come to the end of this session. So do scan the QR code shown here to follow us on social media. So you can scan the QR code shown here to check out our YouTube channel. So we have already posted all our previous webinar videos. We'll be posting this video soon as well. And thank you so much for joining.